my upcoming series, Roadside Rests and Rides, coming out shortly. I'm going to put a promo up on the next clip, and I hopefully when you see that promo you could do the same to that to help boost it along. You know, a comment, a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, so we can get out there and get that one in the process. And at the moment I'm out now gathering material to do that clip on ride 1, so it all depends on you, the viewers, to decide if you want to see any or not, because I can only make them, and if the results aren't good and you don't get much of a view, it's just a waste of time going out and doing it. So this time I'm waiting to see what happens before I go ahead, because I tried that doing the test on 2 motorbikes in the scooter range, lost a packet on that, and don't want to do anything like that again. I'm just out here in the scrubby at the moment. I just thought I'd pull over and just mention a couple of things about the bike. At around that 1300 kilometre mark it started to slow down a bit, and it wasn't quite as quick as what it was in the beginning. So I thought to myself, well, where it was running nice and sweet up to 1300 kilometres, I think it possibly needed a valve adjustment or the tappets done. So that was the idea there. I was going to go in there and give them a bit of a look at and check them out. So I actually did go in there myself, adjusted the tappets, both of them were tight. So the reason for this clip is just to let you know, you might have watched other videos where they say if you do the tappet check on this particular bike, you've got to replace the half moon type gasket in this section here, right along. Well, I wouldn't believe everything you sort of watch on YouTube, because it's not the case. When I swung into it and got down to that section where I got to the gasket, I'd say it would be extremely hard to remove without damaging it, or you'd really have to be careful. I had a good look at the gasket, and mine was sealed in there that tight that I know that if I had to go, I would have buggered it, and I would have been out of action for possibly a week or so while they got me a new gasket. Yeah, so what I actually did, I set those tappets, put the cover back on, and pressed the original gasket straight back up into the recess where it goes into the tappet cover. And I had the wife on the other side of the bike, and she was pressing it in too. And I actually put it back on the bike, and no drama, and I'm out riding it now. And you can't see any leaks or anything. So that part went really well. Now, the other thing that's taken into account is, there was a bit of a problem when I put it all back together. I went to start, it wouldn't start. Just kicked over, no kick. And I was thinking, oh, geez, maybe I set the tappets wrong. And I decided, oh well, just in case you're wondering, it might have been a fluke about me pulling the tappet cover off once, use the old gasket and put it back on. I went back in there and did the same, took it back off, checked the tappet clearance, and I thought, oh, I'll just loosen the inlet one just a fraction and give it a little bit more space there. But that was all right. But the only thing I didn't realise when I was doing all this is when I first seated the spark plug, I pushed the cap in after I put the plug back in, but I never pressed it down and seated it, and that's why I wasn't doing any good. This time when I had it out, or the second time, I had the cap out and I poked the spark plug into it, and it went straight in, and then it sort of jammed in really tight, and I thought that wasn't how I had it. So my thoughts were, I didn't have it bedded properly and got a bad reading, and therefore it just wouldn't kick. Now after I'd went back and done that, bedded it in properly this time, turned it on, it kicked over as sweet as ever, first hit, and I was pretty lucky on that side of it and got that part out of it, and I've been riding it now about 150 kilometres, trouble free. More power than what I got now compared to what I started with prior to the tappet adjustment, where it sort of lost a bit. So if you keep that in mind, that's the second time I went in, used the original gasket, got the wife to help me on one side to hold it. Yeah, so what I actually did, I was on this side and fed the gasket from here halfway around. Wife was on the other side, she had the hands in underneath, pushing the gasket right in place, bringing it back around, and then set it down. And to do the tappet adjustment, which I did a video on, but my oil and filter change didn't get many views, and it's just affected me channel ratings, so I didn't worry about putting up anything on this tappet side. But it was fairly simple to do. It was really a lot easier to do it on this bike compared to the 650 Interceptor, which was a lot more involved. So if you keep that in mind, you can use that tappet cover gasket if you're careful. And the main thing is you don't have to sort of pull it out and then clean it all up and put that back in, because I didn't do it once, I did it twice, and twice it worked for me. Make sure when you do it, you do set the spark plug correctly. Like a mistake on my side, and I had to go back in and do a job where I'd already done it right the first time, and was a bit careless on the setting of the spark plug. So if you like what you hear on that side, by all means give it a like, and if you want to comment, please do in that line. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that'd be good too. So once again, thanks for tuning in, take a look. I will catch up with you later.